Now, what I'm about to tell you is going to sound kind of weird, but next time you drive by a cemetery, I want you to slow down, turn off the music, and get really, really quiet. Because when you do, you know what you're going to hear? You're going to hear the sounds of regret. You're going to hear, I wish I would have done this. I could have done this. I should have done this. I call this a theology of woulda, coulda, shoulda. Now, literally, you won't hear that, of course. I'm talking figuratively. That there are so many people that go to the grave going, I wish I would have done this, but fear made me not do it. In other words, they didn't realize their potential because they were afraid to risk. This devotional is called Risk, the Testing of a Limitless Life. Risk, the Testing of a Limitless Life. Listen, the greatest risk that you and I will ever take is not taking a risk at all. I didn't grow up in the church. My wife and I were basically postmodern, unchurched folks. And so when I got drafted by the Colts in 1993, I had a teammate that was really different. You know, he was 6'2", 240 pounds. That's normal for a linebacker. He would take a shower after practice, dry off, wrap a towel around his waist. That's normal for an NFL player. But then he would grab his Bible and go to my teammates and ask them this question: do you know Jesus? That, my friends, is not normal. In my mind, as he's asking my teammates, do you know Jesus? I'm thinking, do you know you are half naked in an NFL locker room? Yeah, crazy, strange. So one day I'm chilling at my locker and I turn around and I see 6'2", 240 pounds of dark chocolate near nakedness approaching me with a Bible. So I know a religious question is gonna come. Steve Grant, the naked preacher, asked me this question that forever changed the trajectory of my life. He said, "Rookie D. Gray, do you know Jesus?" And that began a 5-year dialogue. That began a 5-year conversation. And on August 2nd, 1997, I discovered Jesus. I realized that my whole life he had been looking for me and that his love had won the day. So then, in 1998, my wife and I moved to Charlotte to play for the Carolina Panthers. Then going into the fall of 1999, we just sensed like it's time to write a new chapter in our life. So we took a risk. We didn't know what we were going to do. We just knew that we wanted people to experience the life-transforming grace, this limitless life that Jesus was given to us. I got an invitation to speak at an event at Columbia, South Carolina. It went well. And before I knew it, the phone just started ringing off the hook for invitations to go and speak. As I traveled the country for several years, there was something that really began to disturb me. I would speak at places where it was predominantly all white or predominantly all black. And I was like, I don't understand this. I don't understand why we're so homogeneous as Christians. By the way, that's a nice word for saying segregated. I don't understand that when at the end of the Bible in Revelation 5:9 in a new heavens and new earth, we see God's people together, white and black, every nation, tribe and tongue, Asian, Latino, everybody singing praises to Christ. I didn't understand that, why the church didn't do that now. So I got critical when I sensed God saying, don't criticize, create. And ultimately that led to the desire for my wife and I and a team of folks to plant a church called Transformation Church, that this church would be multi-ethnic, multi-generational, and mission-shaped, and that we would love God, love ourselves, and love our neighbors. But here's the problem though. When I talked to pastors, they told me that would never work. Listen, people of different ethnic backgrounds don't want to be together. People of different social economic backgrounds don't want to be together. Old people don't like the loud music of the young people. The young people think the old people just aren't cool. It's never ever going to work. Don't do it. But yet I knew from reading the Bible, and I knew what God had tattooed in my heart, that this kind of church needed to be planted. So you know what? We took a risk, not only financially, but we took a risk and said, we're laying it on the line because we believe that the glory of God matters. On February 7, 2010, we launched Transformation Church with 178 people. And at our first service, we had 701, and we've been growing ever since. Our first year of existence, we were the second fastest growing church by percentage in America. That's not supposed to happen in the first year of a church plant. We've seen in 3 years, nearly 600 people be baptized. We've seen over 1,500 people come to faith. We've planted a multi-site. We've planted a multi-site in a prison. Now we're getting ready to plant a church in Spain. We've seen countless of lives transformed. But here's the deal though. What if myself and my wife and a team of people didn't take that risk? Right now, what is God asking you to risk? So here's the deal. What gives us the power to risk, to test this limitless life? Jesus. We look at his past faithfulness. His past faithfulness gives us the courage to move forward. So here's the deal. I will never ever live the way I lived before planting Transformation Church. There is something glorious. There is something awesome. There's something transcendent about putting ourselves in position that if Jesus doesn't show up, it's not gonna work. I think for a lot of Christians, they miss out on the supernatural work of God because we don't place ourselves in such a way that Jesus has to be the hero. Now, finally, is it really a risk? If God is who God says he is, it's not a risk for him. He's longing for us to attempt things to display his glory. May you and I be people that pray prayers so big, that have visions so big, that attempt things so big, that the Father, Son, and Spirit tiptoe over the edge of eternity and call the angels and say, look at my people, look at my kids. They really believe that I'm awesome. This is Derwin Gray. Marinate on that.